Anthony Lynn has come out and said basically that Colin Kaepernick should get a workout and Cam Newton, like there's a lot of conversation now about Colin Kaepernick potentially coming back to the league. Roger Goodell has said that he's encouraging teams to sign him because I think Roger Goodell understands at this point now, 4 years later, with the severity of everything that's going on in the messaging, I think he understands that they messed up with the Colin Kaepernick situation with the players bad 4 years ago. And I think he is trying to maybe right some wrongs at this point for admitting his mistakes. And he said he wants a team to sign Colin Kaepernick, or if not, he wouldn't mind if Colin Kaepernick comes and works in the NFL to help them make better decisions. But whenever you look at Colin Kaepernick on a workout list and stuff like that, do you think any team is going to sign Kaepernick at this point, or is it all 100% dependent upon how he does in those workouts?
No, I think a team's going to sign him. He deserves it. Look, I mean, last year there's some atrocious quarterbacking play, you know, in the National Football League. When the Jets lost their starters, when Darnold got mono, and then Trevor Siemian got injured, and they were down to Luke Falk. I mean, that wasn't pretty for 3 games to watch, right?
Yeah.
You could make the case. I mean, I like Gardner Minshew in Jacksonville, but Gardner Minshew started 12 games last year, struggled in the fourth quarter. He's not really ready to go. Mike Glennon's never been a good player. I mean, Jacksonville.
Jeez. Mike Glennon didn't deserve that.
He's made a lot of money. He shouldn't be mad at me for saying that because he's had opportunity, you know, and I think like Jacksonville could use, like the one I don't get, Kaepernick will get his chance. To me, Cameron Newton should be signed. He's better than a lot of starters on teams. He is better.
Not just a lot, by the way. He, a couple years ago, whenever he was healthy, MVP type player, and you look at the workouts, we can't show any of his workouts because we got a copyright strike for showing his last workout that he put up on the internet. Interesting. But
how is that possible? It's on Twitter.
We don't fully understand. I don't fully understand, but I know we can't show any more clips because I would like my business to continue to operate. But he was doing this workout with his right arm. He was doing a one-arm push-up while sending his other hand out. He looks like he's going to be better than ever. What is it about Cam Newton that you think he hasn't been signed yet? Because like you said, the Jacksonville Jaguars, we all assumed that he would get signed there. Then the Chargers, we all assumed he would get signed there after they were allegedly in the Tom Brady lottery. There's a lot of teams that we thought, you know what, Cam Newton would be better than. The timing of his release from the Panthers, I guess, was a bit. It was not a bit. It was unfortunate because there was other spots already taken up. But why? Do you think he's going to have to wait till somebody gets hurt? You think he's going to have to wait till training camp? Like, what is the big deal right now with signing Cam Newton?
I mean, I think each situation is different. Let's take Chicago, right? Chicago trades for Nick Foles. They give up they could have signed Cam Newton for nothing, right? But if they bring Cam Newton into Chicago, everybody in that locker room, and you've been in the locker room, everybody in that locker room knows Cam's better than Trubisky. Absolutely.
Let's put that guy in.
Let's play that guy, right? Same thing in Denver. I like Drew Lock. Drew Lock played good in 7 games. He did. But if you signed Cam Newton in Denver, everybody would say, nice, Drew, you're really good. We'll wait. Party gifts at the door. We're going with Cam, right? And I think a little bit of that, people are scared to bring him in to challenge somebody that they have a preconceived notion about.
So it's all ego. So it's all ego then. It's all about.
It's all ego. Like I keep saying, if I'm the Patriots, I'm signing Cameron Newton. I like Jarrett Stidham. I think Jarrett Stidham's a good player. I'm signing Cameron Newton. I mean, to me, it's the Warren Buffett approach to signing players. Buy when they're devalued, and then you're going to get and increase their value. That's what the Patriots have always done.
So what
they have cap issues right now, but if they didn't, I think they would.
Yeah, you know the Patriots organization very, very well. I mean, you've been in there, you've helped. I think your kid was even coaching there. I don't know if he still is.
Yeah, he's the receiver coach there. Yeah, coach. We call him Coach of the Year here, but that's okay.
That's going to be tough with Belichick there. But Coach of the Year Lombardi down there, you have really good ties in there. The question was, since they have such salary cap issues, how would they ever make that work? What would you have to do? You'd have to move some players, obviously. You'd have to restructure some contracts. But then that, by the way, that next year after that, the Patriots have all the money in the world. And with this new CBA where you can change the percentages of how much money you give, more than 15% or whatever, year to year, it seems like there is a move to be made, but I don't know how they would even start to do that.
The number one thing they'd have to do is redo Joe Thuney's contract. He's the franchise player. He signed a tender. He's at $14 million hard dollars on their cap. They could easily redo his deal and fit Cam Newton in there, but they would have to extend his deal out. And the problem is next year, as you know, because of the no fans, that cap could come down, and people are really reluctant to do a lot of deals because no one knows where the cap's going to be next season.
It makes no sense. Cam Newton It makes no sense.
I mean, but I do think, going back to Colin, I think it was an injustice that Colin wasn't signed because he was better than a lot of guys. It's hard for me to understand that. Now, you're going to have to agree to with a contract. He's got to be willing to take a job that he's not going to be giving his starting job. There's got to be some reason of conditions that he comes in and says, okay, I want the opportunity to compete. We'll see if he does that.
Yeah, Roger Goodell would never say that he put him on a list, a do not sign list. He will never come out and say that that conversation happened behind closed doors. But I do believe that everybody with a reasonable mind is like, okay, let's assume that years ago, now that Roger Goodell is coming out and saying we handled this poorly and we should have listened and stuff like, let's assume that there probably wasn't a direct message of let's not sign Colin Kaepernick, but at some point a conversation was had where they were like, if you can sign another player, please do so. Is that, you think?
I think where most teams got to is do we want to take on Kaepernick, the player, and then you got are we willing to take the other part on as well? And I think what kind of problems did that bring to the team? Would it cause distractions? That kind of thing. I think it was the whole entity, Colin Kaepernick, not just the player.
I'm pumped for Kaepernick in the NFL to hopefully mend fences and become a good relationship again, because that could be a really good story for our league. I mean, that could be a very, very good story for our league. I don't know if he's going to get back in the game. I don't know if he's going to be on the field. But I think if he does business with the NFL again, it's good for everybody, everything, every message at this point, even though it might have been misconstrued years ago. And Cam Newton, I mean, come on, let's sign the guy. Let's get this thing going.